live. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to my live. Who is here? Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Welcome to my live. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. Ah, welcome again to another edition of. We know we started this last week. We started it as this year's project, and that is what? To go through this Bible, to read it and understand it, so that if people are making arguments about the Bible, we cannot just be looking as if we don't know anything, because most of the time we are always tired of reading this book, the Bible, coupled with the fact that most of us are busy doing one thing or the other. Another thing is that whenever you start reading, most of the time you start sleeping. But God helping us, we're going to be reading the Bible and understanding it. So hence the topic, understanding scripture. So thank you for joining my live. If you can hear me, kindly say I can hear you, so that I will know I'm not talking to myself. All right. So last week we read from Genesis 1 to 7. This week, yesterday I was supposed to do another live video, but I was not able to do it because I was not feeling so fine. But thankfully, God helping us, I've been able to regain my strength. So now we are going to continue from where we stopped, and that is Genesis chapter 8. Kindly bring your Bible if you are here in this live, please, so that you'll be joining me, and if I'm reading, you are seeing, and we are understanding together, so that you will not be bored and you have to run away. So Genesis chapter 8, right? I hope we still remember what happened in the other sides of the Bible, like the ones that we read previously. If you don't remember, kindly go and watch the other live videos I've done. I'm believing God that you can understand from there what happened between Genesis 1 to 7. So today we're going to be reading 8. So Genesis 8. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark, and he sent a wind over the earth, and the water receded. Now the spring of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150-day, the water had gone down, and on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to the rest of the mountain of Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th, on top of the top of the mountain became visible. Okay, so surprisingly, A lot of people, people used to doubt most of the things in this Bible. I don't blame them. Everybody wants to like have concrete evidence in whatever they are following, because man is a rational being. So a group of persons decided to investigate this issue of Noah and the ark and the destruction. Do you know that they actually found some residues of that particular ark at the mountain of Ararat? Go and browse it. You will see. They actually saw this ark, both the shape. It's no longer the ark itself because everything has gone down, but the archaeologists were able to map out where the ark rested. Is there. Go and find it out. You will see that all these things written here, none are lies. They are actually factual truths. And it's not just God's word alone, it is actually history. So we know that the Lord destroyed the world because of the corruption that was in the world. His normal creation, like Adamic creation that he had, was being intercepted by other forces. They were mixing up with other elements, and they started creating Nephilims, giants. So all this, if you see most of our movies, you see people like Hercules and all those people that are strong and mighty, that have strength and all that. Yes, all those demigods are actually products of those mix up. So God decided to destroy the world. That was from chapter 7. And if you watch the other lives, you can understand it better. So it seems as if God actually forgot, because it is silly for man to think that man is actually the only excitement or entertainment that God has. That God has nothing else to do than to stay and be looking at earth like this and be watching every single thing that is going on. No, he has actually existed way before the creation of the world. So I believe he had things doing as God that he is. So you know that the Bible said, but God remembered Noah. So which means his mind was not even there. And then after a while he remembered, oh, there's somebody there that I have forgotten. And that way is the way God is going to remember you. In any situation that you are in, just keep pressing. And I believe he will remember you. He didn't forget you. He just allowed you to stay for a while. Okay? So now, God remembered Noah. And he made the water to start what? Receding. He started receding. So, after 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark and went out. Noah opened the window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water has receded to the surface of the ground. But the dove couldn't find no place to set his feet, because there was water over all the surface of the earth. So it back. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there was a beak of a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water receded from the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again, but this time it did not return. So I hope you are understanding this. So Noah, in order for him to know whether the water has fully gone down, this is technology now. You see that man has always been a rational being. He sent out the birds. The bird will go, it will fly around, it will not need place to perch because water has covered everywhere. It will still come back to that ark because that is the only visible thing that he can land on. So they continue doing that often and on until he sent the dove, and the dove saw a bit of a tree that he brought back. And then the last time he sent it, and the dove never returned, which means he found some place to stay. And that was that. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wives, and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that multiply on the earth, and be fruitful and increase in number upon it." So Noah came out together with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives, all the animals and all the creatures that moved around the ground, and all the birds, everything that lived on the earth, came out to the ark, one kind after another. And taking some of the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offering on it. The Lord smelled the, the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of man. Even though the every inclination of his heart is evil from childhood, never again will I destroy all living creature as I have done. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." Did you see it? So Noah, despite being locked up in an ark, imagine when a natural disaster is happening. Just stay in your house alone and it's raining heavily, or there is a storm, or something beyond people's control is happening. You can know how scary it can be. You can imagine how Noah felt inside the ark. He didn't really know what is going on. What he was hearing was just destruction, people screaming and all that. And for days to months, he was locked up in the ark until God remembered him. And at the end of the day, they were rescued. The water receded and they came out. And the first thing that came to his mind was to offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Lord. See, people don't understand what thanksgiving does. You see, thanksgiving, it is a very, very powerful tool. For one to be glad is not your right, but it's God's doing. That he came down immediately. He took a clean animal, he sacrificed it to the Lord, thanking him for saving his life. So in any situation you find yourself in, don't Don't forget to always give thanks to God. For God is the ultimate. Thanksgiving goes a long way. It can change somebody's heart from hatred to love, from anger to happiness. Thanksgiving. That no wonder you see kings or people who are really extremely successful. If you want to get them to be happy, you don't buy them things. No, they can afford it. What do? You find all these hype men. A lot of traditional people used to enjoy it. That will start singing praises for them. You will see the person, their mood will change. They will want to do anything that you ask for. That is Thanksgiving. If that happens to a man, wonder what will happen to God. God so much enjoys people thanking him. No wonder it is said in all situations, give thanks to God. So, what are we learning from this passage? That no matter where you find yourself, it is always good to give thanks. Regardless of whether things are working your way or not, you should always give thanks. Just like Noah, he came out immediately, he started giving thanks to God, and he sacrificed to the Lord. So let's go. Chapter 9. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall upon all the beasts of the earth and all the birds of the air, upon every creature that moves along the ground, and not upon all the fishes of the sea. They are given unto your hand. Everything that lives and moves will be food for you. You see that? Everything that lives or moves will be food for you. Everything. You know, there's something they talked about, clean animals and unclean animals. Yes, eventually we'll get to that. But we remember that here, God said directly to Noah and his descendants that everything that lives and moves will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plant, every animal for and from every man too, I will demand accounting for the life of his fellow man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made man. So whoever sheds the blood, there's this power that comes in the blood. No wonder Jesus Christ had to die and his blood was shed. Because why? The power that rises. Blood is an ultimate sacrifice. The blood of somebody, whether an animal, a human being, is very precious to the Lord. And that is why he said that even if you are eating animals, do not eat them with their blood still in them. Most Africans or African practices that happen, usually they don't kill their animals to cut off their neck and remove the blood. No. What they do is to strangle it to death. thereby killing it with its blood inside. If you eat such an animal, you have defiled the rule of God. For God said, if you have to eat of any animal, you should eat it without its blood. So you pour the blood and it flows away. And for any person's blood that was shed, your own blood will be asked for it. Because whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall reap. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number, multiply on the earth, and increase upon it. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that has with you, the birds, the flocks, the livestock, and all the wild animals. All those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be cut off by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. And the Lord said, this is a sign of the covenant I am making between me and you. Every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow on the cloud, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Have you noticed something? That whenever God makes a covenant, there is always a sign that reminds him of that covenant. I'm not trying to be fast, but we know that Noah here now, a covenant was established that the earth will no longer be destroyed. Hence the rainbow that was created. We know that Abraham had a covenant with God, and for that, they had a sign, which is the circumcision. We know that the new covenant that was established for us Christians happened based on the sacrificial act of Jesus Christ on the cross and his death and so it seems I'm having a little network issue, and I'm hopeful that it is being resolved because I just went off right now. I don't know why, but I'm back. So let's continue. Maybe the names I'm calling is really bothering a lot of people. Verse, I mean, chapter 10, verse 26. Jakatan, the was the father of Aldad, Almodad, Shalif, Hazarama, Jeran, Hadoran, Uziel, Dikal, Obal, Abimelech, Sheba, Haviel, and Jobab. All these were sons of Jakat. The region where they lived stretched from the mesh towards Sefer in the western hill country. These are the sons of Shem by their clan and language in their territories and nations. These were the clan of Noah's sons according to their lines of descendants within their nation. From these, the nation spread out over the earth after the flood. So, all these things were the genealogy of Noah and his sons, his three sons, now started having children, and their children started having more children, and they started spreading through the world. So, chapter 11. Now, the whole world had one language and a common speech. As men moved eastward, they found a plain in Share and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let us make bricks and lay them thoroughly They use bricks instead of stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, come together, let let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we can make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. The Lord said, if as one people speak the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do would be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other. So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it is called Bethel, that is why it is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the faces of the earth. So in the Tower of Babel, after the years and the generation, they started filling up the earth because they had one for them to build a tower that will reach the heavens. And the Lord came down. I want to point to two things. One is the fact that the Lord came down, which means that God has access on earth. So God can easily come to earth and go whenever he pleases. So for us thinking that God is in heaven and therefore you need to call him for him to come down, no. These people did not really call God. He just came to see what they are doing. So you don't know whether they are, saw what they were doing. They were building. And he said that if they go come together, that means that there is nothing they will put their mind in that they cannot achieve. What does this signify? That when you see marriage, because the two of them will understand themselves and nobody can penetrate. Unity goes a long way. That is why if the devil wants to scatter a home, an institution, a family, what does he do? He first of all plants a discord or the disunity amongst them. No one is actually looking for the best interest of the other. Nobody now cares about his brother or his sister. Then the devil can penetrate. You can see it when you are watching Nature Wild or any kind of wild animal documentary. A herd of goats or any kind of animal, what do? They try to scatter the flock. They will try to scatter them, and as they are scattering them so that they will no longer be moving together, they will now leave the vulnerable ones enjoyed when they can now see the weak people, the ones that are sick, the ones that are very young, that cannot run as fast as the ones that are healthy. Then they attack those ones and they kill them. That is the same strategy that the devil uses on each and every one of us. He comes into a home, he destroys and scatters, causes disunity, everyone vulnerable, especially those who are less spiritually sound. So this particular verse teaches us what unity can do. That these people were working together, and God is himself saw that if these people can work together, then there is nothing they plan. Why they were he request for power from Satan. He wanted to do others and he craved for it. The same way the people saved, the generation of Noah saved from the flood, instead of them to now enjoy the environment that the Lord has kept for them, no, they wanted to scatter the whole earth. go up to heaven. But there is time for everything. You cannot just leave what you are doing here and want to go up. No. So, and God saw that if you leave these people, this can actually enter into another thing. So, he confused their language. And that is why now on earth everybody have different languages. Like me, that is in Nigeria, we speak our own language. Other people are speaking their own languages. So, two things we have learned from this chapter. Number one is that God has access on earth, that is, He comes and goes as He pleases. The second one is that unity should be our utmost priority in our families, especially our families. You cannot say workplace because everybody, most times in the workplace, there is struggle of who will be the head. But if it's your own company and you started with your family, the best thing to do is to preserve that unity and the launch and the love and the bond that comes to you. If you watch nowadays, that a lot of married couples are being divorced, the highest cases now we have is amongst families. Divorce is everywhere. It's either a man kills his wife or his wife kills him. If they did not kill each other, they would divorce and leave the children. Leaving the wife to be a single mother or the father to be a single father. The devil is out to destroy families as we speak. Why? Because he knows that a family that is built in unity, that is built in love, it inculcates in their children an everlasting a knowledge of what true relationship should be like. The trauma becomes less. And when a family grows and nurtures together, they bring up children that will continue the lineage. Continuity exists. Just like we read in the other verse, that God will never where Ham went to see his father's nakedness, and at the end he secured a cause for him and his generation. And this cost them Canaan to become slaves. And we can read all through down, you see that their land was taken from them and all that. The same way will unity, when it is family, it can help with the life of the children, inculcating the right them as their journey through life. They will know that yes, this is what I learned from my family. This is not what is supposed to be. And through that, they can teach it to their own children, and life continues. But no, the devil will want to cause disunity and destroy the family, so that the children will go through life having is either daddy issue or mommy issue or trauma or being neglected or fighting for attention and love. All these things make a person to grow up and being depressed and all that. So whatever you are doing in life, ensure that your family is at peace. If you are in a family that has no peace, kindly go back and make peace. Make peace. How do you make peace? It doesn't start immediately by calling a family meeting and start making peace with them. What you do is that you start interceding for your family members in your time of prayer. You pray for them. You pray for them so that their hearts will be open. And gradually, the Holy Spirit will start ministering in the hearts of each and every one of them. And automatically, God enters into your family and peace is restored. Okay? Yes. So, we are now in verse 10 of chapter 11. When Shem was 100 years, he became the father of Aksidad. Shem lived 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Aksidad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shihal. Shelah, and after which he became the father of and had other sons and daughters. When she father of Eber, and after he became the father, had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Pegel, and after he became the father of Peleg. Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. He became the father of Ru. 209 32 years, he became the father of Shuru. 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shuru had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nebo. Nahor. Shirog lived 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. And after he became the father of Terah, had other sons and daughters. After Terah lived 70 years, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haram. Okay. Terah became the father of Abram, became the father of Lot, while he of the Chaldeans, Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. She was the daughter of Haram, and the father of both Milcah and Issachar. Now, Sarai was barren. Terah took his son Abram and his grandson, daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of Ura in the Chaldeans, to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years and he died in Haran. So, we traced the genealogy of Shem down to Abram. So, as life was going on, everybody was having children, having children, having children. The descendants of Shem, Abram. I hope now we are going to read chapter 12. The Lord had said household and go to the, I will bless you, those that bless you, I will curse those that will curse you, and all the people on earth will be blessed through you. So Abram left as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he, at that point, the Canaanites were in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your offspring I will give this land. So he built an altar there, and the Lord who he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. So we remember that that Ham was the father of the Canaanites. Yes. And you know that Abraham was from the descendants of Shem. So we remember that course that was still going on. That despite that people were dwelling in the land of the Canaanites, the Lord still gave that land to Abraham. Abram now, because he has not changed his name. Okay, so from there he went on towards the hill east of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram set out and continued towards the Negev. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while, because the famine was severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me. But but will let you live. Say that you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. When Abram came to Egypt, he was told,